Welcome to the Business Finance Bulletin, episode 227. Welcome again to the latest Business Finance Bulletin with me, Rob Warlow from Business Loan Services, the commercial finance experts. In this bulletin, business losses from mandate fraud on the rise, nowhere to look for growth finance, and HSBC launches its fifth SME Fund. Well, let's kick off this bulletin by taking a look at mandate fraud. Now, mandate fraud is costing businesses an estimated £77 million a year. That is according to research undertaken by RSM, the audit and tax consultancy firm, from figures compiled by Action Fraud. Now, first of all, what is mandate fraud? Well, mandate fraud is where one of your employees gets a call or an email from your supplier stating that, hey, we've changed our bank details, would you mind sending all the payments due to us to our new bank account? Well, of course, it's not your supplier. It's a fraudster who's managed to get hold of your details and is masquerading as your supplier. Now, RSM have found that the total amount of money, as I said at the beginning, is about £77 million a year, which businesses are losing out. They estimate via Action Fraud that over the last 12 months from 2017 to 18, approximately 3,451 cases of mandate fraud have been reported, and that's an increase of 123% on the previous year. The average amount, well, the average amount is about £22,500, which is lost through this fraud. Now, of course, the first thing you get to hear about it is when your supplier rings up chasing you for payment due under the invoice. And of course, you're going to say, well, we've sent the money to your new bank account that you told us about. But of course, the supplier turns around and says, sorry, wasn't us. That payment is still due. So that's where the loss comes in. So what can you do about it? Well, first of all, train your staff. Make them aware of this fraud so their antenna is really flashing when they get this sort of request. And if they do get a request about changing bank details, of course, pick up the phone and speak to the contact within the supplier firm and just double check. Was it really you? So make sure you don't get caught out by this increasingly popular fraud. As you can imagine, as a business finance brokerage, we're really keen on getting the message out to business owners that there are many different types of finance available to fund your growth plans. Now, new research has been carried out by the British Business Bank, which has taken a look at this topic of growth and finance. The British Business Bank spoke to 500 small business owners, and they found out that 33% of businesses who said, yep, they're planning to grow, also say that they didn't know where to turn when it came to finance. That's really disappointing. You've got these businesses wanting to grow, but thinking they can't access the finance. Well, interestingly, the survey found, for example, that only 5% of business owners said they would think about angel investment. 7% of them only would think about crowdfunding, and both of those are really credible sources of finance. Now, the big difference, though, comes out in age. Difference between young entrepreneurs and older entrepreneurs. So, for example, those business owners aged below 35, well, 19% of them said that they would think about crowdfunding, for example. Whereas entrepreneurs who are over 35, and I'm in that category, only 3% of them would take a look at crowdfunding. So there's a big disparity. So what do you need to do? Well, if you are in growth mode, say, don't assume that there are no finance options out there for you. There are. What do you need to do? Search the market. Go around and have a look at all the different options available. Obviously, go and speak to finance brokerages like ourselves or a finance broker in your local area. They will know exactly where to go. So please, don't forgo growth just because you think there's no finance available for you. As we know, small business owners are labelled as the backbone and the lifeblood of the UK economy. And it's good to see many of the high street banks proactively supporting small businesses when it comes to finance. And HSBC has just announced the launch of its latest SME Fund, a pot of money that they've put aside specifically for small businesses, totalling £12 billion. Now, this is the fifth fund that they've put together since it was started in 2014 with a pot of £6 billion. So over that period, they've now doubled it to this £12 billion. As well as being available for all small businesses, £1 billion of that fund has been ring-fenced specifically for small businesses who wish to export, who wish to do more overseas trade. And as we know, that's a really big push by the UK government to try and get smaller businesses to export more. Obviously all part of the Brexit plan to try and get businesses to diversify their income stream. So if you want to know more about HSBC and what they can do for you, just go along to their website, which is hsbc.co.uk, and there you'll find information on hopefully how you can access some of that pot of money. Well, that's it for this bulletin. As ever, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a like and a share. It all helps. So thanks very much. I look forward to being with you next time, and in the meantime, have a great, successful and profitable week.